The sky burns with the fire of shattered peace. The echoes of destruction ripple across the land. The earth, trembling beneath the weight of a war long in the making. The silence. Before the storm was broken, the moment they arrived from the depths of the void, their ships, black like the abyss, themselves, casting shadows over cities once bathed in golden light. And now the war begins. A war they thought we would never fight. A war they assumed we were too weak to wage. They came with their proclamations of dominance. They spoke in the tongues of conquerors. Their voices, layered with the arrogance of those who had never been defied, they looked upon our world and saw nothing but a prize to be seized, a planet to be stripped bare, a civilization to be broken and bent to their will. Their war machines landed on soil soaked with the memories of those who built this world. Their weapons hummed with the cold energy of a merciless void. But they did not see what lay beneath the surface. They did not know the fury they had awakened. The first strike was theirs. The fall of towers, the collapse of bridges, the deafening sound of steel and stone shattering under the weight of their assault. They believed in swift victories. They believed in submission. But they did not understand what it meant to threaten the home of those who had known struggle, who had known resilience, who had built their cities not just with hands, but with hearts unyielding in the face of adversity. The war drums of Earth sounded in the hearts of its people. The whisper of the wind carried the cries of those who refused to kneel. The ground pulsed with the marching of those who would take back what was theirs. We had been underestimated. They saw only our divisions, our conflicts, our endless battles amongst ourselves, and assumed we could not unite. But they had never seen humanity under threat. They had never seen the fire that blazed when survival was at stake. The skies that once carried their warships became their tombs. The oceans they sought to claim swallowed their metal. Leviathans, whole the land they sought to conquer became their graveyard. They thought they had silenced us, but the roar of defiance rose higher than their cannons. They thought they had broken us, but we had only begun to fight. The first wave fell to the storm of our resistance. The second wave faltered against the walls we built with our will. The third wave hesitated as they saw the truth in our eyes. We were not just fighting for survival. We were fighting for vengeance, for justice, for the right to exist on our own terms. They came as conquerors, but they would leave as nothing more than remnants of an arrogance that had no place in our world. The warriors of Earth were not forged in the luxury of peace, but in the crucible of hardship. Our weapons were not made by idle hands, but by those who had seen too much loss. Our soldiers were not born in the safety of an empire, but in the chaos of a world that had learned to endure. We fought not with the desperation of the weak, but with the fury of those who knew that surrender was not an option. The invaders began to waver. Their leaders no longer spoke of swift victories. Their commanders no longer claimed inevitability of conquest. They saw the flames in our eyes. They heard the battle cry that echoed through the ruins of what they had destroyed. They felt the weight of an unbreakable will pressing against them, and for the first time, they knew fear. This war was not just about reclaiming what was taken. It was about sending a message to the stars, to those who watched and waited, to those who believed they could do the same as these invaders had done. We were not a world to be subjugated. We were not a species to be broken. We were humanity, and we were not done. The tides turned with every battle, with every blow struck against the oppressors, with every defiant stand made by those who refused to be erased. The ground soaked with their failure, the air thick with the remnants of their shattered ambition. They were pushed back step by step, battle by battle, until their mighty fleet that once blotted out the sky was nothing more than debris scattered in the void. And then silence. Not the silence of defeat, but the silence of realization. They had learned what it meant to threaten us. They had learned what it meant to believe they could break us. They had learned what it meant to face the wrath of a world united in defiance. The war was won, but we did not celebrate, not as victors, but as survivors. The cost was etched into every ruined city, every scarred landscape, every life lost in the struggle to remain free. We did not need words to remember. We did not need monuments to remind us we had faced extinction, and we had fought back. The invaders left what remained of them scattered amongst the stars, their warning, carried on the wind of history. To any who dared to dream of conquest, the earth was not a prize to be won. It was not a battlefield to be claimed. It was home to those who knew that peace was precious, but war was inevitable for those who sought to take it away. We had won, but we would never be the same. We had faced the darkness, and we had endured. We had become something new, something stronger, something unbreakable. The war had ended, but the fire remained.